Well, David tells me it's a blessed day, so I'm going to take his word for it. Let's get after it. We've got a lot of stuff to do. A lot. And I'll just tell you, playing the win-loss game with the Lions schedule and Mother's Day aren't two of them. So let's get in. I want to ask a question. I need guidance. I need help. Rico, sports fan. Kenny, sports fan. David, sports fan. And you in Metro Detroit, sports fan. I need you to tell me, what the hell did I watch last night? I have never, in my 42 years on this planet, as a sports fan and as a radio host, watching games for pleasure or for work, I have never watched a game like I watched last night with the Celtics and Sixers. Allow me to categorize it and explain. I have never watched a game.
For those not in the group text, go ahead.
Which
Mike.
was a race to the bottom. Two teams, Rico, who arguably were passing a hand grenade between each other, going, no, you hold it. No, you take this. No, hot potato. Jayson Tatum goes out and has arguably the single worst playoff game in history for roughly 45 minutes. He set history by starting a game 0 for 13. Only 3 players in history have ever started a playoff game 0 for 10. Tatum's out here bouncing the ball off his crotch, throwing rockets into the crowd, hitting kids with popcorn, having a pouty face, and missing everything, killing the Celtics single-handedly. The Sixers are about to eliminate the Celtics and get to the conference finals. With about 3 minutes to go in the game, Jayson Tatum turns into a Marvel character. He puts on the Iron Man suit. He decides, watch this. Three-pointer, 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 dunk. Harden dies on the court and quits. Sad Philly fans walk to the exits with their funny accents. What the hell did I watch? I've never in my life, I don't care what sport. You could call me right now. Baseball, hockey, basketball, football, Rico. 2 teams who don't want to win the game. One alleged superstar who's playing like he owes the mob money until apparently he's allowed to go play. And the whole thing flips in 4 possessions. Mm-hmm. And now the team that was peacocking and celebrating and the crowd that was electric openly quits on the floor with 2 minutes to go. Uh-huh. And now the fans are leaving the arena.
I didn't understand it because I thought Philly had the game won when the breakaway foul was called.
Game over.
Okay, you get the free throw, you get the ball back. This thing is done.
How do you go from dud to stud that quick?
And then, all I kept hearing is Tatum, bang. He's making shot up. The funny thing is, if you would have told me this was game 7, I could have explained it and said both teams were just tight.
Right.
There was a lot on the line. It was game 6. The Philly collapse.
11 points in the fourth quarter.
That's just Doc being Doc at this point.
Have you guys ever seen a game like it in any sport?
I've never seen anything like it, and I just wanted to, for fun, go through the shot chart again. Yeah, Jayson Tatum, 0-4 in the first, 0-4 in the second, 1 shot in the third, and making everything late in the fourth quarter. And I've never seen that.
David, he was afraid to shoot early in the fourth.
Yes, he was.
He was passing up stuff. And then a couple minutes to go, 30-footer, 30-footer, 25-footer. I'm like, where's this been?
He's the Irish Mamba.
I've never seen it. Yeah, I've never seen it. And again, I don't know if it would a football comp be 0-4 MSU Michigan? I mean, but see, the difference is State was kicking their ass. But then all of a sudden, Braylon went Marvel superhero. Team that was winning dies. Game over. But even then, that's football, and it was an ass-kicking until it wasn't. It was a major comeback. This game was never more than outside of Celtics blowing a big lead early, it was, no team led by more than 2 until the Celtics went up 5 with like a minute and a half to go. I don't know what a hockey equivalent would be. I was about to say, I don't know.
Maybe the football equivalent was the game when the Ravens came here and won on like the 70-yard field goal, and Lamar just kind of went Lamar on the final drive. It was not that great of a game.
Maybe it would have to be close game, superstar quarterback's awful until 2 late drives to win it.
Yeah.
Something. I've never, and I talked to my dad about it. I'm like, I don't know what I just watched. I don't know how to feel. I feel dirty because they don't deserve to play Game 7 Sunday. But the Tatum thing, the way it played, and by the way, we're going to get to this later. Enough with the James Harden thing. Like, enough. What a loser. I mean, James Harden quitting on the floor. Embiid's out there on one leg. I just feel like you're going to hear a report that Embiid has surgery in a matter of days.
Yeah.
And Embiid's a warrior.
In the locker room as soon as Game 7 is over.
But, like, Embiid's giving it his all. Maxey played really well. And here's James Harden, late in this game, quitting, walking up the court. And I'm going,
he didn't get the call.
What are we doing here?
He didn't get the call, and he became a 4-year-old in the cereal aisle at the grocery store. He literally sat on the floor, flailing his arms, and the ref was like, okay,
I've never seen a game like it. And I am, by no means, it's not a basketball topic. I'm open. Any sport, anywhere, anytime. I don't know.
Well, it was weird because I'm flipping back and forth watching that and the hurricane. And when I turned back, I was like, wait, I thought it was the third quarter just because of the score. I was like, wait, this is the fourth quarter? Because I caught it just when the flagrant foul happened, the breakaway. And it's like,
the one thing I did think about, and it's like, I think Lions fans will probably have, like, we have players in this town where if the Lions play well enough, there's going to be a big moment, a big game, big set of games. And if those players come up empty, it's a long off season for you. You got to remember, Tatum gagged against Milwaukee in a couple of those games and then no-showed in the NBA Finals. It was a long summer for him. If the Celtics went home last night, and it was 13. On the heels, 1 for 13, 14, 15, I'm going to tell you, Boston is not forgiving. So it was wild that they were able to survive it and him doing what he did. My question is for Detroiters, what's the comp to that?
I have one local and one non-local. The local one, to me, was the Trey Burke, Kansas game, where Michigan was getting destroyed by 1,000,000 points, it seemed like. Well, I went to the grocery store because the game was over, and they came back and won that game.
On the 30-footer.
Yeah. That's the only one I can think of locally. The other one that's non-local would be the Falcons.
Was Burke terrible? Refresh my memory, David. That feels like a lifetime ago.
The whole team was terrible. The entire team was terrible.
Okay.
That day.
So superstar player flipping a switch from awful to all-time good.
And then the other one that's non-local would be the Patriots-Falcons Super Bowl, 28-3.
Yes.
Patriots couldn't do a thing.
You know what's weird about it?
Yeah.
Both of those are massive comebacks.
You're right. That's true.
That game last night was ripe for both teams.
You're right.
And, like, I watched it. Like, have you ever, as a fan, watched your team and you can't explain how they won? I didn't realize it, but Philly only scored 11 points in the fourth quarter. Like, I'm like, how are we in this? Mm-hmm. All night, like, I was texting my dad, and he called me at halftime. And, like, first half, I go, we should be up by 20. It's ridiculous. Tatum's on the take. Like, this guy, he must owe a bookie money. This is awful. And I say it in jest, but it was like, he was forcibly killing us. Third quarter comes around, they blow the lead. I'm going, oh, my God, Tatum's not going to be able to return to Boston. And then you're halfway through the fourth quarter, and you're going, it ain't getting better. They're going to lose. And all of a sudden, 3 minutes to go, boom, 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 and you're like, game's over.
Yeah, what just happened?
He went superhero on 4 straight possessions out of nowhere. And then the post-game interview, he's like, yeah, casually, I'm one of the best players in the world. I'm like, the hell did I just watch?
Yeah, humbly, I'm one
humbly,
of the...
yeah,
what?
Excuse me. I mean, Kenny, would there be a hockey comparative of like a tight game and then one player just goes nuts and it's over?
Not as notably as the one you're describing. I haven't seen that in the NHL. The only thing, it would have to expand to like a series. Because you see Connor McDavid still in the playoffs, and you saw him last year. He's just this best all-time, one of the all-time greats he's going to retire to be, but he still hasn't won a cup yet, and you just don't know what the hell is happening in Edmonton. That's the only comparative that I can possibly see, but they're still winning games. They could be in the conference final again.
It was just one of the most violent turns I've ever seen. Because it's like when you see a player change their story in a matter of 4 possessions. Think about that. 4 possessions. Now, it's geeky because we're radio people, but like Think about the headlines if those 4 possessions don't happen.
Mm-hmm.
He's Judas. He can't return to Boston. There would be a legitimate conversation about, you know what, maybe we're keeping Jaylen Brown. Because that's back-to-back years, he would have zeroed them out. And in 4 possessions, the total discourse changes. It's wild.
Yeah, when he finally hit that shot, it was like, whoa.
And then it was 2. And then it was 3. And then you're like, game's over.
Right.
It's over.
Right.
So I want to know if there's a comparative. And the reason we're explaining what took place is I know, guys, believe me, I know you didn't watch the game. I don't expect you to. You got better things to do in your life. I get it. But I did watch a lot of NBA last night. We'll get to Durant later because I still need someone to explain why I have to kiss that guy's ass. Nice no-show by Easy Money Sniper. Nice. You cried and whined and forced your way out, and then when the team needs you most, you don't show. Didn't score the first 7 minutes. Didn't take a shot. Didn't score his first basket till the second quarter, and he's a part of a team that gave up 83 points in the first half. Like, you know what? Why do we have to kiss Kevin Durant's ass? Why does the NBA media protect him?
Because he's KD and he's a superstar.
Yeah, but I don't care. He's a loser. Period. What has he done?
No.
You went to Golden State. I didn't rip you. I was fine with it. You won your title. God bless. You even want me to give you a second one because of the Achilles? Fine. My point is, what have you done? You are a big baby who decided to leave. You went to Brooklyn. It blew up. You won nothing. Then you big baby it again. You go to Phoenix. How do you no-show in a Game 6? How? Like, think about in this town, the pride of when the Pistons are really good and you talk to the going-to-work Pistons or talk to the bad boy Pistons. Can you imagine no-showing in a Game 6? Season on the line.
Yeah.
At home at the Palace. And just no-showing. Not going to try. Not interested. Not going to do it. That's blasphemous.
No,